Please make him feel welcome, Alan Berg.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am so honored that you came out at 8 o'clock on Thursday morning on the last day of this conference to come and see me. Thank you. Because if I wasn't speaking, I wouldn't be here at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, so I just wanted you to know that. I want to thank Will and Patty and Shannon again for inviting me back to Wedding MBA. I love coming to the conference because of this. You're not getting up after 2 days in Vegas, 3 nights in Vegas, if you weren't really interested in improving your business. So again, I really appreciate you coming. I really appreciate being able to be here. If you've seen me speak before, which many of you have, you know I like to give you actionable content. I want you to walk away with something you can use, something you can do. I want the feedback on Facebook. I want the feedback on email and on Twitter to tell me what you've accomplished because of what you've heard from me and from other people at conferences like that. That is my success. So today what I'm going to give you is when to ask for the sale, how to ask for the sale, how to handle objections, how to stay positive, and I'm going to give you the number 1 and number 2 things that I believe you need to learn to close more sales. If you've done everything else well, your marketing, your advertising, your branding, your website, everything else, if you've done all that well, you have to finish the job. Most of you don't sell on your website, so your website can't close the sale for you. You have to do that. You have to finish that job. If you're getting most of your sales closed because the bride says, yes, sign me up, you're missing out on sales. You're missing out on a lot of sales if you're waiting for them to do that, because how many times do you do that as the customer? How many times do you say, yes, here's my wallet, how much money do you want? Well, I do that with my wife, but I don't do that when I'm buying things, because I'm happily married, right? Isn't that how it works? So if you're closing most of the people that way, you're missing out on some sales. Now, if you're filling your calendar that way, that's a whole nother discussion I'm going to talk about in terms of pricing. But if you're not meeting with enough people because you're closing almost everybody you meet with, but you're not filling your calendar, that's a problem. If you are closing everybody you're meeting with, but you're not filling your calendar, you need to meet with more people. Now, if you're not closing most of the people you work with, or not closing enough, or not filling your calendar, it could be that your prices are out of line. It could be your marketing's in the wrong places. Maybe your ads are in the wrong places. They're attracting the wrong people. It could be that you just need to learn how to close more sales too, isn't it? So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Have you heard about a closing ratio? This is simple math. I know it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We're not going to do the math, but the math is simple. You meet with 10 people. How many of those people do you actually get the sale? That's your closing ratio. If it's 2 out of 10, it's 20%. If it's 5 out of 10, it's 50%. If it's 8 out of 10, it's 80%. If it's 8 or 9 out of 10, that might be good and it might be bad. Are you filling your calendar? If you're closing 8 out of 9 people you meet with and you're not filling your calendar, once again, folks, you are not meeting with enough people. What's your upside? You're closing 9 out of 10, you go to close 10 out of 10, you're still not filling your calendar. You have to meet with more people, but that's really a marketing discussion. If you are filling your calendar and you're closing 9 out of 10 people you meet with, you have pricing power. You have pricing power. You are closing 9 out of 10 people you meet with, your calendar is full, you can raise your prices at least a little bit because you have an upside. You could probably close 8 out of 10 and get a little higher price. You have pricing power when most people are saying yes and your inventory is going away. And that's the challenge. Last time I looked, we weren't making any more Saturdays in wedding season. We can make a lot more product, but we can't make any more Saturdays. Now, you can make more Saturdays. You can hire more staff. You can do more weddings. But if you're choosing not to, last time I looked, there was a finite number of Saturdays in wedding season. So you have some pricing power there. Supply and demand is the key factor here. But what we're going to talk about is closing the sale, because if you can't close the sale, there's no food to cook, no wedding to plan, no invitations to write, There's no music to play, no pictures to take, no videos to take, no dresses to make, all the way down the line. You have to close the sale. To get to do what you love to do, you have to do what you may not love to do, which is closing the sale. So what is the experience of buying from you? What does it mean to do business with you? Now, that's not your product. That's not that you take quality photos, cook great food. It's not that you arrange flowers wonderfully or great planner. What does it feel like to do business with you?